All right, so let's look at an example here that we have. And this is an example that deals with traditional costing. And so what we're going to follow the instructions and we're going to work this problem out. It says Bugaboo company manufactures 3 types of cookies. Okay, the production process is relatively simple. Okay, that's kind of some key information right here. And factory overhead costs are allocated to products using a single plant-wide factory rate based on direct labor hours. So this is definitely traditional costing. Information for the month of May, Bugaboo's first month of operations as follows. So we have the 3 types of cookies here, and then we have our budgeted volume, 80, 60, and 20,000 boxes. We have our direct labor hours per unit. Okay, so 6 minutes, 12 minutes, and 30 minutes. Bugaboo has budgeted direct labor hours for May at $8.50 per hour. Definitely a union shop. Budgeted direct materials costs for May are as follows: 75 cents, 40, and 30 for these 3 different types of cookies. Bugaboo's budgeted overhead costs for May are, and we have all of the various types of factory overhead totaling out at $420,000. And they say assume that Bugaboo sells all the boxes in May. Okay, we can make that assumption, I suppose. A, it says compute Bugaboo's plant-wide factory overhead rate for May. Okay. Well, if we're going to do that, let's see here. I have to kind of go back and forth, make sure I have enough room here. All right, so looks like we have factory overhead of $420,000. That's budgeted factory overhead. Okay, and then if we look up here, we can figure out how many direct labor hours we're going to need. So 80,000 times 10% is 8,000. 60,000 times 0.2 is going to be 12,000. And 20,000 times 0.5 is going to be 10,000. If we add that up, we're going to come up with 30,000 hours. So then we can come down here, direct labor hours, and we can come up with our plant-wide factory overhead rate for May is $14 per direct labor hour. Okay, and that's all we have to do. That's all the question asks for. So you can see how we did this calculation here to come up with 30,000. The 420,000 was provided to us. Didn't have to add up anything. Okay, compute the product cost in May for each type of cookie. All right, well, this is probably going to be a little bit more involved. Hopefully we have enough room here. Okay, so let's see here. What we probably need to do, let's see here, we've got these 3 different types: fluffs, crinkles, and snaps. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just write fluffs, crinkles, and snaps. Okay. And we know that we're going to have 3 components. We're going to have direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead for each of these. So the easiest thing to do, let's see here. It says that budgeted direct materials are 75 cents for fluffs, 40 cents for crinkles, and 30 cents for snaps. So I'm just going to come down here let's see, it was 40 cents and 30 cents for the snaps. All right, and then let's see here, direct labor. Let's see, we had budgeted $8.50 per hour. So 8.50 times let's see here, the amount of time it takes per box is 0.1. So that should be 85 cents. Let's see, crinkles is going to be the same 8.50 times 0.2 hours. Okay, and that's going to be $1.70. And then for our snaps, these are taking a half hour a piece. So we can come here and we can say 8.50 times 0.5. That is $4.25. Okay, and then factory overhead. Let's see here. That rate was $14 per hour, per direct labor hour. So we're going to multiply that by 0.1, come up with 1.40. For the crinkles, $14 times this same 0.2, and that's going to give us $2.80. And then for the snaps, it's $14 times 0.5, so that would be $7. So let's add these up and get our product cost in total. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got, what is that, $163, I believe, something like that. For the fluffs, crinkles is going to be $210, $490. Okay. And snaps be $11.25, $11.55. Okay. So those are our three answers for part B. So part C. Part C says, does Bugaboo's use of plant-wide factory overhead rate in any way distort the product cost for May? Well, it does. So technically, there's your answer. Yes, it does. But why? Well, the reason is because overhead is being charged mostly to the snaps. Okay? And that's because that product uses more direct labor per unit. Okay? So I want you to understand, let's look at this now. If we look at volume up here, the fluffs have 4 times 80 versus 20,000 the volume. Okay? So fluffs they have a lot more volume. But if we look here at the overhead rate that we determined for factory overhead, $1.40 for the fluffs and $7 for the snaps, $1.40 will go into $7 5 times. So even though we are making 4 times as many fluffs as we are snaps, our overhead rate per unit is being charged at 5 times the rate for snaps versus the fluffs. And that is inaccurate costing.